How do you take your passion and a lifelong dream and take it from a food truck into a fine dining restaurant? But is it actually easier or just a whole new set of challenges? Today, we're diving into the real struggles of running a food truck, making the leap to brick and mortar, and what it really takes to grow in the restaurant industry. Hi, everybody. Welcome again today to the Will Frederick Podcast, where we talk about real estate, wealth building, money, and life. Today, we are joined by a very special guest and a good friend of mine for a long time, Matias Rojo. He is the owner of Nola Mia Pizzeria. Pizzeria or just Nola Mia Pizza?
Pizzeria. That's fine.
Nola Mia is so well loved. The Rojo family is so well loved, and a great fixture in Ponchatoula. We're so excited that they finally, after many, many years,
That's right.
have an actual location, not just a food truck anymore. So
That's right. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no.
Hopefully it brings something to the table.
Yeah.
I really look out for you, Will. You know, I've been knowing you for many years.
Oh, thank you.
We love you. We love your business, your family,
Yeah.
the way that you hustle. I really feel like, you know.
Hustle knows hustle, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we know
absolutely.
each other. So
Back in the day, I met you many years ago, and you probably don't even remember. We were at an Old Saints party here in the neighborhood, and you walked by. It was a Tuesday afternoon. And you introduce yourself and, you know, you're a real estate agent. I was like, okay, I like him right away, you know. Hopefully one day we do business with you. And, yeah, we end up.
That's right.
You know,
I forgot that, but you're absolutely right. Now that you mentioned that, I remember
many
that.
years ago, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I'm really happy for you and your team.
Well,
and thank you for having me.
First of all, let me start with your history. Like, so where is your accent from?
All right, let's start for that. I was born and raised in Argentina.
Okay.
So I came to the States when I was 21.
Okay.
So, yeah, the accent, it would never go away.
Oh, no, keep it. It's awesome. Part of the brand. It's so good.
It's part of the, so, like I said, I was born and raised over there. I went to culinary school in Argentina. And then I started working for a really nice hotel where I met some people that were hiring they were recruiting for the Marriott, the Hyatt, the Sheraton hotels.
Okay. And
one of my friends like, hey, this is your thing. You know, you're single, no kids. Get your passport, go work, go there for a year and a half. Took a leap of faith. I didn't know a single word in English. And I was like, oh, man, I should have paid attention back in high school. I absolutely didn't like, English. I didn't care for it. I knew it was going to be in the culinary arts. That was my passion. I didn't put two things together.
Right.
3 months later, I ended up in New Orleans, working for a French chef, a small restaurant inside of the Marriott. I met who is my wife now. I met her the first week there.
No kidding.
Yeah, that was the first week.
I didn't know that's how you and Rachel met.
She
That's
got
awesome.
hired to work at the restaurant as a hostess, and we couldn't understand each other, but she knew,
Love speaks all languages.
Yeah, Latino, so we always have funny stories about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I came to work for the Marriott. Soon enough, it was Hurricane Katrina. And that point, right when I got my apartment all set up, and we're all good, Katrina hits. I ended up going back to Argentina for a couple months. She was in Europe at that point with college. And then we were missing each other. We knew we wanted to be together. So we made the effort to come back and meet up. And then because her family moved to the North Shore after losing her house, they ended up in Ponchatoula. And that's how we ended up in Ponchatoula. We needed some family close, you know. She got pregnant with our oldest daughter, and we needed some family. So we moved to the North Shore. And then I went to work as a chef de cuisine for a restaurant in Covington, the Dakota restaurant. And because I met the owners working in New Orleans, I thought it was the best restaurant to work in the North Shore. I didn't want to work in any other place, like cooking hamburgers, and I wasn't interested in all that. I was in the fine dining. I was really good at it. I had a lot of experience, good experience. But right after 2008, when the recession hit, it really hit our restaurants. You know that we became like a special occasion, and if you're a fine dining and you're a special occasion, it's hard to survive. And I wasn't getting paid on time. It was hard. I was working 6 days a week, all day long. I had my second job. And then I have a friend that I met through the homeschool group, and he was like, all right, now it's time. You got to come work offshore for us. You got to be a chef for a catering company. And I was like, no, that's not what I do. I'm a fine dining chef, and I'm really good at what I do. And he's like, I don't care. You need a better life. You need more time off. You need to make more money. You need to be appreciated better. And, well, 2 years of him asking me, finally, I said, all right, let's do it. I feel my family deserve it.
Yeah.
I feel that my oldest 2 kids, I wasn't around. I was working. I used to leave the house when they were sleeping. I used to come back home when they were sleeping.
Yeah.
And so I went to work offshore, and I stayed with the offshore job for about 5 years because it was 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. I never had a chance to go to a movie theater on a Friday night. I never had a chance to go to a Saturday night to a restaurant. That was unheard of. So we love it. Unfortunately, I lost my parents in a tragic accident. When that happened, it was so much pain. So I couldn't be far away from my family. So I said, okay, I'm gonna quit. I'm sorry.
It's
still
totally
hard.
Fine. Yeah,
still
of
hard.
course. And how long ago was this?
This was 7 years ago.
7 years. No.
Yeah, and
sorry.
I say thank you. Whenever I feel better, I was gonna put some money I got from them and into a business. I didn't want to buy a new truck. I didn't want to. No, I needed to do something with money, something that they want me to do. They want me to pursue my own business. They knew, Matthias, you've been working too hard. You know a lot. You already set yourself up. Do it. So that's how we tried to start a pizzeria, but it was just too much money that we didn't have. And all right, so we say, all right, well, whatever we have, let's do the best we can. And the best off. And I was like, all right, we're going to start with a food truck. That was one of my things that was passionate about it.
So you had tried a pizzeria before the food truck?
We were thinking about, I'll work in a pizzeria back in Argentina. I consider my first job was in a bakery. My godparents own bakeries in Argentina. Very traditional French-style bakeries, wood-fire ovens, things that you don't see around here. And so that was my passion, my love for dough and all that stuff. And then I work in pizzeria. I absolutely love it. And then, I went to culinary school, and then I was shooting for a fine dining job.
Well, let me interject there real quick, because I don't want to. This is all awesome. Like, Matthias, this story is even better than I expected it to be. And you may have told me pieces of it before, but I'm loving hearing it, and I know our listeners will as well. One of the things that strikes me is when you hear, Nola Mia Pizzeria or a pizzeria, you don't often think of fine dining. When you walk into Nola Mia, the feeling that you get when you walk in there, it is a high-end restaurant.
Right.
The food that you get, and I told you this the other night after eating, I said, you're an artist. And he truly is, because I am not, I don't know that much about food artistry, but when you sit down at one of these tables and you get this pizza, you get some of the hors d'oeuvres and stuff, it's so good.
I'm so glad you noticed. A lot of people have noticed, and that was my goal. Maybe move from the fine dining to some of the major food options for Americans. I knew it was going to be either taco, burgers, ice cream, pizza. Look, we are in a volume kind of business. We need volume. They're selling, a fancy duck plate it's not enough for us. We need a volume. I had a lot of experience. I have about 22 years in the restaurant. And I learned from many different chefs, different things, different business. I worked with chefs that were very talented, but there wasn't people. They couldn't relate to customers. I worked with another chef that they were very... They knew all the food costs, all the labor, all the, the manager side was great. There was no cooking talent. So I was learning a little for each one and try to, do the best I could whenever I'm on my own, and I'm holding accountable and we depend on this restaurant. So what we're trying to do in Nola Mia is we want to give you the best we can. We want to give you the best fresh food, the best quality. hygiene, the best looking restaurant if it's possible.
Yeah.
And for a lower price.
Yeah.
What we think is fair for the area.
So y'all had thought about starting a pizzeria, but then decided on a food truck.
It was around like $350,000 to open a restaurant, a pizzeria.
Yeah.
And that was the minimum just to get it open.
That's a lot of money.
It was a lot. Yeah. And then we are like, okay, we only have 120. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to do the best truck in the state, at least. So we went out there doing some research, lots of food truck podcasts, books. And, we're not afraid to go ask somebody, to go ask to an expert, to do some research. My wife and I, we do a lot of that before we put any money or time in it. We are known for moving slow, but slow and steady wins the race. And
that's
in our
right.
book.
Yeah.
So, and we have 7 kids right now, so we don't put ourselves in a bind. We don't want to be in a bind like that.
It's really just a beautiful thing. So how long was the food truck?
The food truck. Yeah, there you go. So when we started the food truck, we knew what we want to do. We were sure that if you follow the steps, it was going to work because with the experience I had, but we didn't know how good it was going to work. And then right away, we thought that we were going to be traveling to New Orleans every day. I was willing to work 7 days a week, whatever I had to do. And then we found out, hey, the North Shore, where our family, where our friends at, they want that pizza too.
Oh, yeah.
And we had the most incredible days. I mean, the first few months, it was just sell out to sell out to sell out. Let's add more refrigerators. Let's hire more people. And I was like, and this is just a food truck.
Yeah.
That wasn't common around here. We were the first one around this area.
Yeah.
And it was really hard to hire people. For example, that was one of my things that I was working in Covington or New Orleans. So I didn't know anybody here.
Yeah.
And there were no food trucks around. So when we're looking to hire people, it's hard to go get a job when you're not familiar with or how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Normally a food truck is mom and pop and maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here we're hiring 6-7 people. But anyway, we just start working, keep growing.
Oh, I remember trying to track y'all down. Like, oh, where's Nola Mia tonight? Like, we're feeling like this pizza, and we called to make sure that y'all weren't going to run out because
sold out. Yeah.
I mean, everybody loves it.
It was great.
He's got a cult following. If you're not a part of it, you need to become a part of it.
So. And then we started going, to Gonzales, Prairieville area. And our followers are growing like crazy.
Yeah.
We had the best experience in showing up to a brewery. And as soon as you park, you had 30, 40, 50 people waiting before you even be able to get set up. And it was just a great feeling.
Was that in Mandeville? It was like a food truck rally or something like that?
Yeah, we did.
We followed y'all there. I was standing in that line, I think. Yeah, in Abita. Yeah, in Abita. Yeah, so.
And then we got hooked up with the Saints, with the coaches and players. Really? So we were doing that during the summer. That was super fun. Yeah. All the Pelicans players, movie caterings. That was super fun too. Yeah. Get to meet a bunch of celebrities.
Oh yeah.
So it was all fun. The only thing that we knew at some point had to grow because I was the only person driving the food truck and basically cooking the pizzas. The food truck was set up for a left-handed person, so it was really hard for somebody else to cook and to drive the truck. It was a lot of pressure to put on somebody else. Yeah. Because you get in a car accident, something happened to the truck. Hey, we're all out of business.
Yeah. Because let me interrupt. It's a wood-fired pizza. If you've not seen it before, it's a
we carry in a 3,500 pound oven.
Wow. In the truck.
In the truck. Yeah. Plus all the way to refrigerators. It's a lot. It's a lot,
Did y'all ever get in a wreck or anything like that?
No. Thank God. No.
Yeah, thank God. That's awesome.
All good. I always treated like, hey, my life depended on them.
Yeah, that's right.
I was very serious when it come to business.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to put the pressure on another employee.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
So I had many offers to start a restaurant right when we started.
Yeah.
In Metairie and Hammond and Ponchatoula and we decline it just because, hey, we still learning to see who is Nola Mia. What's Nola Mia about?
Right.
We still creating our follow. We want to go slow.
Today's sponsor is Fleur Law and Title, Louisiana's trusted leader in secure, reliable closings. With 10 locations across South Louisiana, their experienced team protects your property and investment. They also specialize in estate planning and successions, ensuring your future is just as secure as your home. Fleur Law and Title, your go-to partner for all your real estate and legal needs.
Norton Accounting Services, real estate tax pro Bob Norton. Bob's goal is to help his clients become financially free using real estate, and that line just gives me shivers every time. Become financially free using real estate. I love that goal. He focuses on real estate investors. He's got clients with properties in 48 states. He's been a valuable resource to me and many other investors. So
And
tell
we
me
waited
about the
up to
name.
5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, until finally we feel that we found the right person to help us out to
That's
become a reality.
awesome. Yeah.
We were looking for a place to open a restaurant. We had a realtor in common with these people, and we met this couple that they owns construction company, and they were looking to buy buildings in Ponchatoula, fix them up, bring something fun to the city because they live here.
Yeah.
And they used to love Nola Mia.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, y'all might be the right match. And we're willing to buy the building, to fix it up, make sure that will work for you guys.
Yeah.
And you just pay us the lease,
Yeah.
at least it's high.
Yeah.
But I completely respect and appreciate what they did for us.
Oh, it's a beautiful building. If you have not seen it, you're riding through downtown Ponchatoula. It's the most beautiful mural you ever see on the side of the building. Inside, it's all painted beautifully with a mural. And
Shout out to Ryder Construction.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It took a long time to become a reality, but they have so many projects going on. I was there. I was very aware of. I was seeing all the work that they put in.
Yeah.
And then finally, when we opened and people came in the restaurant and they're like, "Oh, okay, I see
this is why it took so. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
we
it
want to
really
do
is.
something good. We want to be
special.
there for a while. We don't believe in that 1 year, 2 years out of business.
Well, no, I don't think you'll ever go out of business. At this, I mean, I think people,
if you really gonna pay attention to the details and do a lot of food from scratch and be ready, it was gonna take more than what we thought. Our numbers were higher because we were doing volumes that we wasn't used to, that we wasn't expecting. And so as of right now, we're doing Wednesday through Saturday, just dinner, and then we do a brunch on Saturday from 11 o'clock. And whenever, things calm down a little bit and we get a bigger staff, we're going to start opening more lunch.
Yeah.
Our goal is to stick with those days. We are a small business. I'm a family man.
Yeah.
And no better way to prove it by closing on Sunday,
Yeah.
Closing Sunday, Monday. All our main, we call them leaders. They have family, they got kids.
Yeah.
And they've been with us for almost 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's another thing we take a lot of pride.
Yeah.
There's a lot of turnover in the restaurant business. So you can even imagine on a food truck, it's even worse. But we had those employees for 5 and 4 years.
Yeah.
It's 4 people. And that's huge. That speaks a lot of the business.
Yeah.
And the way that we do stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and I love walking into the restaurant because we've known each other a long time through the homeschool group, and our homeschool, it's a big group that, we all kind of know each other. But I walk into the restaurant and I know everybody on staff and Kevin's walking around and I see all your kids.
Right.
I love, and he said a family business. That's really very truthful.
Yeah,
your whole family works there, right?
True.
I mean,
it's true.
Yeah.
We have my oldest kids and my wife.
Yeah.
As much as you can. They're there.
I saw Valentino hustling, bussing tables. I was like, yeah,
he's a 10-year-old. Everybody knows him. He's like the mascot.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great.
Everybody knows him. He knows people by name. Always people, tipping him. And
that's awesome. Chip off the old block, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I grew up working with my dad too.
Yeah.
And that's a nice little gift that I have for them.
Yeah.
That, hey, come work with me. I'm going to show you what I know. Get you under my wing. And, I don't know that much, but this is what I can what I can give you.
Well, it's so beautiful to see. Like, I mean, it started because of a gift from your parents that was just really heartfelt and just really heartwarming. And then to see it extended through you and to your kids, I mean, it's just awesome. It's a really great.
Thank you. They want to be part of there.
Yeah.
They want to be there. They want to. Nola Mia, if you haven't been there, it's very loud. But it's not because the music is loud or the kitchen's making too much noise. It's people that truly having fun.
They're having a great
lay
time.
back.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we're in a nice restaurant, but we can be laid back. We can have fun. We can celebrate somebody's birthday. We can talk about anything. It has a great vibe.
It does,
and we wanted that from the beginning. And so we're in a small town, and we want to come for the food, come back for the service, and because they feel great.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, every time I'm sitting down there, people are asking me like, "Are you good? You need anything?" I mean, it's great, you know.
Good. I love to hear that.
Nola Mia, the name. I wanted to ask you about this because what was the inception of that? Like,
we were thinking it was something like a Mamma Mia, inspired by Mamma Mia.
Of course, yeah.
I learned a lot from my mom, from my grandma. It was inspired by them.
Yeah.
But we love the Nola.
Yeah.
Came out.
New Orleans, Louisiana.
We were brainstorming ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, everybody thinks that we coming from New Orleans. And we were planning to run the truck in New Orleans. And then we found out that North Shore was taking care of us and it was doing great. So, I'm sorry. It's not Ponchatoula.
Yeah.
No.
Don't be sorry. I don't want to drive to New Orleans. I want to drive to Ponchatoula to get that pizza.
We wasn't expecting any, or we wasn't planning any franchise.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you would have had to modify your name for to adapt to a franchise. Especially if you go out of state. We're always thinking about a small business. We'll cross the bridge one day. If we need it, we'll figure it out. But right now, like I said, we're focused on the restaurant. This upcoming year is we need to pay some bills, pay the bank. As of right now, we have so many ideas, so much fun things that we would love to do.
Yeah.
But we're just going slow and steady right now, trying to pay off.
That's good. What's been your most effective form of marketing?
The most effective, we really focus on our food and we let the food to be our marketing.
Yeah.
We want you to come in, enjoy, and for you to share the word of mouth. You can't be that.
Yeah.
You telling your peers, your friends, hey, go have it.
Yeah.
And we are at a price range where it's only $20. You can go. You're not buying a car to see how. You just $20. Either you love it,
right? Yeah.
And you make your own judgment.
Yeah.
I don't expect everybody to love it.
Right,
We all have different tastes. I love all different type of pizza. This is my favorite, but I love all type of pizzas, and it's very artisanal.
Yeah.
It's very. We were talking about it earlier. It's healthy.
Yeah, it's light. I mean, it's you don't
light.
feel like really gross after you eat it, unless you eat too much, like I sometimes do.
We don't use sugar or oil in our dough. We let it cold ferment for up to 2 days, so the gluten it breaks down.
Yeah.
And it's light on your stomach.
Gotcha.
So
and you have some gluten-free options. I understand, right?
Gluten-free, and we have vegan cheese, vegan pepperoni. Say if you're not on a vegan diet, you can care less, but they do.
Right,
They appreciate that. The vegans appreciate that. So
that's awesome.
We try to market it to everybody.
Yeah.
That was our goal from the beginning. Hey, this is not for this is not only for the ones that can afford it, or this is for everybody. You come to a restaurant and you see different age and stuff.
Well, so were you? I mean, I know when you're opening a location, a brick and mortar location, I feel like y'all probably had a decent idea that it would be successful. But has it been surprising to you just how successful it's been?
It's surprising. I always say I'm super humble. Super
you
grateful.
are. I've known Matthias a long time, and he very much.
Thank you. I work for a lot of chefs that wasn't like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't respect that. I didn't like it.
Right.
So I'm super humble, and hey, it surprised our expectation. It really did. So far, people say it's gonna be busy for a month. We're 4 months in. We've been hitting our records Pretty much every Saturday and Sunday is a becoming record
Really?
sales.
That's
Yeah,
great.
and we would never expect that. Normally, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
But our track record with the food truck on 6 year, every year was a growth.
Yeah.
So
We're kind of expecting the same
That's
thing.
what we would love to.
Well, I think a lot of people, you referenced your humility, and I'll say just total character and your family. I mean, I think that allows people to want to root for you, I mean, I was bummed when I couldn't get in the first couple of times I went,
Right.
but I was so excited to see y'all's success. And I was like, I knew it would happen. I mean, I've known
I
for a long
remember
time.
one day you walk in, it's like, hey, I can't wait, but I'm so happy for you. It means a lot. It goes a
thrilled,
lot.
yeah.
It goes a long way.
And I think you have a lot of fans like that are like,
Absolutely.
Go
We get some of the best compliments. Look, I get chills just talking about it, and we love it.
Yeah.
We got a lot of friends stopping by, like bring gift. We were very surprised. This is my biggest shocking thing.
yeah, tell me one thing that you're
people
surprised
coming
about.
in, loving it. And before they leave, they're like, thank you for doing this in Ponchatoula. Thank you for...
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, wait, you don't have to thank me. Like,
Yeah.
that was the biggest shocking compliment. Like, people thank you for doing this in Ponchatoula.
Yeah.
And I expecting that kind of quality food.
Yeah.
Or service.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. We feel that the community really appreciate it so far.
Well, it's true. And one of the things
It was very shocking.
Yeah, I'm not. No. That's okay, because I'm not from here originally either. Like, I grew up in New Orleans. I've been here 21 years, but I'm such a fan of our area, Tangipahoa Parish, the North Shore, Hammond, Ponchatoula, and I love seeing when a quality establishment, whether it be food, any kind of service industry, comes and says, you know what, this is where we want to be. We're going to make everybody's lives better by providing a good service at a good value.
Absolutely.
We
truly respect anybody who comes to the restaurant. It doesn't matter how much you spend. We respect. We are very grateful, and we try to show them that. Hopefully, it's gonna stick like that for many years.
Oh yeah.
The welcome feeling. That thank you for being here.
Right.
I know there's small business that are not doing that, and to me, it's shocking. I mean, that's hospitality 101, guys. Yeah. We go to a restaurant for fun. We go to a restaurant to get a service and anyway.
Yeah, there are places that, I mean, you don't have to sacrifice your food quality to get the service. Some places, though, if you have good service, you can have so-so food and still survive. I want to make sure we're not talking about that with Matthias and Nola Mia.
Yeah.
It is the finest quality, and it is the excellent service. And you just feel welcome when you come. You really do. So
absolutely awesome. Wow. And then when things go wrong, because, there's a lot of people coming in.
Yeah.
When things go wrong, the way that we address it is very genuine. Where, hey, look, we really care for your money. We really care for your time. We feel sorry we made a mistake. Let us fix it.
Yeah.
People they won't go on Facebook and talk bad about you if you respond the right way.
That's correct.
It's the way that you respond to the way they're feeling. And
people know how to make.
I don't know if I explain it good. Yeah.
No. People know that mistakes happen. They don't expect perfection, but they do expect a response that's just the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's how I grew up. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So I have a big question, and you kind of alluded to it. Yeah. I'm sure it's on everybody's mind. Another location. What's the next? I know you said slow and steady. I think that's wise.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of ideas. We might stick with pizzas. We might go more like, like pastas, more like Italian.
Okay.
I would love to do a bakery. I have a lot of ideas.
This is really exciting. I have not heard this yet.
We, like I said, I grew up in a bakery in Argentina. We have some of the finest bakery. After World War II, let's go back. After World War II, a lot of people that were leaving Europe, and the main thing was Argentina. Like, for example, there were ships leaving Italy, and one was heading to New York, one was heading to Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Okay.
That's where we got the largest concentration of Italians, Spaniards,
interesting,
Germans, and Austrians. That's the best bakers in the world, are the Austrians. Anyway, so I grew up with that. I love all those pastries and croissants and stuff like that. So me and my wife would literally travel to go hit bakeries.
Yeah.
Like
So
we
that-
literally go to Lake Charles for the bakery. We go to San Antonio for a bakery.
Really?
We had 2 bakers in New York that we absolutely love. And anyway, one day we'd love to bring that to Hammond.
Yeah.
Ponchatoula area. Very like upscale bakery with coffee and sandwich and some good soups and salads.
Yeah.
You know. So I think it's in the plans.
That's music to my ears because one thing that I want to make sure people realize is that it's not just pizza. I mean, Matthias knows how to cook and he knows how to really bring a lot of flavor to food.
Yeah, working in fine dining, and I was trying to learn a little everything. I was working in restaurants where I was the baker, make all our breads, or we're making all the dressings or homemade ice creams, or I was breaking down a whole lamb or a pig, or so. I took a lot of pride in knowing all that stuff, or cooking seafood, making pasta from scratch. So I had to choose something.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
That I choose pizza. It's something I really love, and you know, like we talked earlier, that the majority of Americans,
Right,
you know,
everybody loves pizza.
and that's a safe place to start.
Right, yeah.
The plan from my wife and I that we have is once we pay off all of that, and then we can start saving to start a cash. We can cash flow the next business.
Right, yeah.
Where Nola Mia is working well. This can support another restaurant.
Sure.
You know, play it safe.
Yeah.
Like I said, with 7 kids, is you know we.
Oh, yeah.
We're very serious. And
Well, and I remember one time, I think it was a party here at our house. You brought some food to, and I was like, you know, I always just thought of you as pizza, but
Right.
you know, then I tasted it, and I can't remember what it was. It was sliders,
Yeah.
I think, or something, because
I
y'all
can't
had that
remember,
slider.
yeah.
I was like, wow, this is really good, you know.
That's when we moved from the food truck to the restaurant, it's giving me a little more freedom to play around with all the stuff. We have more salads, we got more appetizers.
Yeah.
We doing something I had in New York a while ago. I don't know if you tried the crispy pasta alla vodka. We cooked some spaghetti.
You did. Yeah.
And
That's very
we
good
tossed it
appetizer.
with a homemade vodka sauce
Yeah.
and pounds of provolone and mozzarella, and then we deep fry, and it's just pasta and
Yeah,
gooey,
so what it is,
cheesy.
because you wouldn't know
it's,
from the title, but it's like a fried spaghetti ball with cheese on the inside, and it's in this sauce. It's incredible.
Right.
It's so good.
Yeah,
So-
and like I say, something simple, something we adapted for this area, and it's great.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
But
I'm so
hopefully
so
just the
excited.
beginning.
Yeah, and like I say, thank you for planting your family here, your
Yeah,
business here,
absolutely.
and being committed to quality and just good food, good service.
Yes.
Is there anything that I'm not asking that you'd like to share about your business or just whatever?
Yeah, I think that the main part of our business is also comes from the people that we have working there.
Yeah.
We, you know, Kevin, Betsy, and Ryan. You know, they've been working with us for so long, but they're just solid human beings.
Yes, yeah, they are.
And you want to have these people around, and they have the experience and the knowledge, and they have that ownership mentality where they're looking out for me.
Yeah,
And that's huge in a business. When somebody is looking out for you because they appreciate you, or I guess appreciate us as the owners and friends, and we treat them the best we can.
Yeah.
I learned from where I used to work, they didn't treat us right.
Yeah,
I didn't feel right where how your main guy had to have 2 different jobs and hold their paycheck for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so, and you know, right now, Nola Mia, when we started the food truck, and this is my sounds kind of silly, but we tried to create a culture from the get-go.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the way that we do
Doesn't
things.
sound silly at all. That's
I mean, it's just food truck. No, we do things like that. We respect
Yeah.
our customer. We respect
Yeah.
each other. Restaurants, you know, a lot of people that burn out. There's a lot of alcoholics, drug addicts,
Yeah.
all kind of stuff.
Right.
And I'll say that doesn't work the way that we do things.
Yeah.
So if you're not a we, well, you're not gonna be part of us.
Yeah.
And right away, you can. Let me tell you something funny about interviewing. If you go interview with me, it sounds like, because I got some people criticizing, it sounds like I'm selling you the job. And I'm not. What I'm doing is, hey, I'm telling you up front how we work.
Yeah.
We know who Nola Mia is. We know the way we do stuff. Can you be part of that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I already know if you're gonna fit in or not. I can tell right away. So far we don't have people quitting. You know, we just opened 4 months ago.
Yeah.
But normally, in my experience, opening restaurants that had the experience about 3-4 times, a lot of people quit. They're like, "Oh no, that's not for me. I don't like it. I'm not making money." We put a lot of thought behind.
It shows. And I think it's perfect. It doesn't sound silly at all for me to start with culture. Because it's so, I mean, we've had Chick-fil-A on the podcast before because I'm such a big believer in the culture of a company.
Absolutely.
Being in business with the right people, forming the right team. You talked about your whole team.
Yes, sir.
And I've always loved, I started in food service, and you're right. Sometimes that element can be a little sketchy.
It is.
It's not in your restaurant.
No, it's not.
My kids want to come work for you, by the way. And,
that's awesome.
I wouldn't allow my kids to work in just any restaurant, but I said, I will let y'all go there.
We're trying to turn the mentality, the perception of a restaurant. We're not Chick-fil-A. We absolutely love and respect the way that they do business.
Absolutely, yeah.
We got inspired by their employee handbook, because we respect what they do and they're doing things well. But I always say, hey, look, we're not a franchise. We got a little more freedom. We can adapt right away. Always consult any changes with our main team. You know, we call them the leaders.
Right.
And like I said, we're trying to build a culture where their friends want to come to work. Their kids want to work. Kevin, we had 2 of the sons working with us.
His sons are there.
Yeah, they want to be part of it. They love it. They hear so many things. And another thing we believe with Rachel is that paying the employees is not enough. Maybe back in the day. Now you need to do more for them. You need to interact. You need to build a group. You get invited for holidays and do some Christmas parties.
It's like a family.
And once you're in that kind of group, you want to stay in that group.
Yeah, you do.
So it takes a lot of effort from us. It takes a lot of time and money, but we know that it's going to be part of our winning.
Absolutely. It's more than just about the food. And the food's awesome, but it's not just about the food.
Not just about the food, not just about the paycheck. You walk into Nola Mia and just the way I look, I'm always smiling. But all our employees are smiling. The busters, you see in Valentina.
Everybody's happy.
And the hostess, one of the hostesses is my daughter.
Yeah.
But she's the sweetest, Catalina.
Catalina. When I walked in and saw her that first, I was like, this is great,
So whenever she smiles at you, it's a genuine, smile. And just
they're having fun. You can tell they're having fun. And they're including the people. They're including the guests in the
They
fun
understand,
too.
and they're representing Rachel and myself.
Yeah.
We want all the employees to represent us. And because that's how we are.
Yeah.
You come to our house and you're gonna feel that you're very welcome.
Hospitality.
And, the hospitality. And if you can represent us, you can be part of the team.
It shines through for sure.
I appreciate it.
Well, listen, if you haven't heard enough about Nola Mia yet, you really need to go. If you haven't been, go. If you have been, go again, because it's so good. And I'm honored to know you, Matthias, especially having heard a little bit more in depth your story. It's awesome, and I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Will. Thank you for having me. I look forward, in the future, continue doing some business with y'all, and
I'm gonna continue to boost y'all up and say y'all need to go. I mean, the more pizza we can have like this, and the more locations, hint, hint.
Absolutely.
Man.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you, listeners, today for joining us, and we'll see you next time.